the barrel of the gun. It wasn't the military takeover. It was through democracy, and the people came out to vote. So I'm happy. I'm happy that happened. Even though, to be honest, I still feel really bad about this whole campaign process because it was. I think it was a campaign of hate. It was a campaign of calumny. It was disgrace. It was a disgrace, to be honest. I hope politicians can do better because even those that have lost, I saw lots of institutions of the government, like respectable institutions of the government, were so compromised, and it was a shame to see that in Nigeria. And even though right now not in Nigeria, but it was a shame to see. I would have expected more campaign-based, issues-based campaign. Talk about what you want to do, and talk about the government, talk about the performance of the government, rather than going into the private lives of people. And to be honest, there was a point he really went overboard, and going on personal hate and divisions, ethnic and religious divisions, which is a really sad thing, to be honest with you. I just hope we get better from here and people have learned, and we will try to hopefully see a difference come from now to 11th of April, when the gubernatorial candidates come forward to come forward in their vote. And I hope the people will come out and then vote, and make sure Nigeria gets better from, because the governorship candidates are as even important as the president, because we really don't want to have governors who are really incompetent in high places in states in Nigeria. So we just hope it gets better from now on.
I live in Nigeria. Benga lives in Nigeria as well. Carol lives in the UK. And we are all Nigerians, but well, we understand some realities, and that is that these things are evolving. I'm happy. I choose to focus on the positives. I'm happy that in 2011, when a candidate won and a candidate lost, there was violence, in many parts of the country. 4 years after, this is 2015, a candidate won, another candidate lost, but there are not too many reports of violence from any part of the country. So it is a movement forward. Of course, we'll get to Carol's ideal. We'll get there. We'll get to the place where election funds are limited. Clean campaigns can be run. But but we have to pay attention to some realities. I said, immediately General Muhammadu Buhari was picked as the candidate of the APC. I said that APC has made a tactical. They have got it right tactically. Strategically, it might not have been so good, but tactically, I mean, that was the right move. That was the right move in the short term. That was the right move at that time, because if you take into account some ethnic sentiments in Nigeria and so on and so forth, they played to that, and it worked. So, and that is the reality of politics here in Nigeria. If you're able to play to some things, you play it. So that's the reality. But like Benga said, and I quite appreciate Benga. I like to call him my friend. And I believe that we are friends. I appreciate his thinking, even at this point in time, because I have seen some very crude reaction. I mean, I've had people tell me that someone still told me that I was going to end up in jail in Kirikiri. I've never held government office. He tweeted it at me. I've never held government office before. I've never embezzled government money. So I'm not afraid. But of some people, concerning what happened, what has happened. But as far as people like Benga, are here or are there and will be in government by the grace of God, or will be a part of the support team of the next government, I think that it is good. Right now, I'm speaking to you. I'm using I'm on generator. So we all want. Like I always said, we who are in Nigeria, from anybody, we understand these things. We understand the challenges in power. We understand the challenges everywhere. But the APC needs to realize that they have a lot of work to do, and they have to do it in a little time. Personally, I've said that the only agitation that I will start making from the moment President Muhammadu, before he's sworn in, is for the National Confab Report, for us to see how it can be implemented, for us to see how we can, what parts of it the APC can work with. That will be my only demand for the first 6 months. For the first 6 months, I'm not going to try and criticize. the incoming government, because I understand, the challenges that they will face. I won't be criticizing them, but Nigerians may not be so charitable. Nigerians may not be so charitable. People have started saying it yesterday that, oh, they expect, things to start changing immediately. Somebody said the dollar as of last night was exchanging 196 to 196 naira to $1. That, that means, so Buhari is happening. So people are going to come in expecting him to be a magician, and he has to prove to be that magic. So we are all waiting for change. I'm also waiting for change myself, and I'm happy that change has come.
The clear difference is that the people here tend to campaign, concentrate on issue-based campaigns and just the selling of their brand. So, and that means solely they are working on the advertisement of their brand. But in Nigeria, you have to settle godfathers, settle some groups to endorse you. So I think that's the difference. The money we spend that is spent on unnecessary acquisition of endorsement, which necessarily does not turn into votes. I think that's the major difference between their financial methodology in Ukraine and in Nigeria. So I think advertisement is the same everywhere in the world. People, everybody wants to sell his or her brand, and they will go through any length to do that. So, but the difference now becomes how much money is spent on bribing people and getting some kind of groups to endorse.
In politics, you have to spend money. You, for one, Victor, will know how much. I don't know if you're in the finance department of Channel TV, but you know how much you guys have got this campaign period. So a lot of money will have been spent, and those are legitimate money because you have to do campaigns. You have to run via TV, radio, online, and print media. But like Victor, the other Victor said, I think there was too much money that went down in bribing people from here and there. Like I said, I think the Naira felt the impact the most because it wasn't they were not bribing in Naira, they were bribing in dollars, thousands and millions of dollars. So, and obviously the demand for dollars would have definitely affected the Naira, even though it sort of like unfortunately coincided with the drop in the price of oil. But definitely this election period, obviously uncertainties, investors are not sure what's going to happen. So all that really affected Naira. And I think now that they've stopped spending, and it's not really the Buhari effect per se, it's just because now there's less stress and demand for dollars, and the Naira should start to kind of stabilize, and we'll see how it goes in the next few days, weeks, and months.
Well, that's how they have assessed the exercise, but we see your comments coming through. Keep them coming. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll be back with Ilewo Kikiowo for more analysis. Please stay with us.